Vengeance 312A here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is a Vengeance Super Sport, and as memory, comes back to me here, I believe this is our most popular member of the Vengeance family. The question is why? Vengeance is our #1 selling toy hauler, and it's become Forest River's #1 family of toy haulers very quickly. And I think it's because it's intelligently designed. What do I mean by that? This is what I refer to as a working man's toy hauler. It's something that the person who still works, for a living, who maybe still punches a clock, but wants a nice toy hauler, a nice rig to go, trail riding or camping or anything like that with, you can get something here that looks great, you can be proud of. It's built solid, it's built to be reliable, but you're not paying for the extra sprinkles on the ice cream. You're paying for the chocolate chips, but not the sprinkles. And as I go through, I think that'll make a little more sense. You saw the generator prep up front. This is a good time to tell you things like that are options. They're not going to be found on every single 312A, maybe not every 312A we stock. This video is rather generic, and I tend to record roughly one a year per floor plan. But that being said, in only a couple years, I think I've got nearly 1,400 of these recorded now. So what I was saying about, working man's toy hauler, it has an awesome look, obviously. I mean, this thing just looks brutal. It looks beefy. I love it. You've got a serious front nose cap. Same nose cap as the big Vengeance, just they decided to make it in a smaller package. Now, a lot of toy haulers are going to a half cap in a fifth wheel, where the roof actually tapers down in the bedroom and you only have a half cap. You see, you still have a full cap here, which gives you more bedroom space and storage. You're still getting nice, high gloss fiberglass skin here. You're still getting, again, more intelligent design, like the textured slide sidewalls here. That is what guarantees that our slide seals get pulled taut, and then you get a better seal on them, basically. These can have an underbelly enclosure. You have a little water docking station here, so you can keep your water lines and whatnot locked away where kind of kids can't get to them. We're riding on nicer, bigger tires here on equal flex suspension. That's something that not every toy hauler is going to have, especially at these dollars. That's the thing. Vengeance is very aggressive on their price point, but with a unit that looks good and is still reliable. I can find you a fifth wheel toy hauler that has a couple more features. You are going to pay dearly for it, however. Equal flex suspension. What that means, same suspension system used on $100,000 type fifth wheels. It's rubber dampener, so that shocks and jolts going down the road are kind of absorbed effectively. And that helps. That's one of the things that adds to the structural integrity over the long-term period of ownership here. If the shocks and the tires and the suspension don't absorb those jolts from the road, then that kinetic force gets translated up through the walls and it starts wrecking your roof and your windows. That's where a lot of your leaks come from, is just that the entire camper doesn't hold square anymore, that it wiggles, and that, your equal flex suspension is designed to absorb that. This is pre-prepped for a backup camera. That's what this little box up here is for. Does not include the camera standard, is pre-prep standard, so you can add one in. 30-gallon fuel station standard. Keep in mind, your generator and your rear fuel cell back here will feed off of the same cell effectively. So there's also a little cutoff point. I think it always reserves 5 gallons for your generator, so you can't accidentally run yourself dry. The patio party deck that we're looking at here is a sweet option. It gives you a nice elevated space up here where you can have your own little cookout area, basically, your own little private slice of heaven effectively. And you notice that there's no bar supports under there. Actually, the TV for the box for the giant TV, I just slid under there for a few minutes while I record this. We like to store the TVs so that you're the first people to touch them when this goes home. Nice size power awning on here, and did you notice that the awning covers both doors? That's something not every power awning is going to do. And what's also sweet is this has a full-length LED light strip. Even though the awning's not rolled all the way out like you see currently, you can still use this awning to its full extent. Underbelly, I think I mentioned, isn't closed, except under the toy hauler area, because you do have a fuel cell. That is a fire safety type thing. Now, what I like is you kind of see the little flip open gates here. You can make this an easy come and go. This is your portable patio. That's what I like about it. We have added in this particular unit the Happy Jack bed lift system. What that's getting for us here is an overhead king bed. Now notice too, it actually has a full fitted mattress. You actually get a full fitted king bed up here, whereas a lot of toy haulers, they have like a shorter mattress where it doesn't fill the whole space effectively. The sofas down here can fold also into beds if need be. Now when you get the Happy Jack bed option, these are mounted in the bed lift. So, you know, if you want to make them sleepers, that's all there is to it. You just simply flip them over like that, and the two will kiss right in the middle. A recent update is they went to this little bit of tufted back space here, and that is obviously a little bit different. You know, if you're going to be sleeping on that, it will puff up a little bit. I'm sure, you know, kids will wear it down a little bit over time. But a lot of people didn't report sleeping here on the lower, you know, sort of sofas. Not to mention when you're sitting down on it, it's far more comfortable. These are far more comfortable. The D-rings in the floor. They'll tell you these are 2,500 pound rated. Factory tested them. They pulled it to 3,300 pounds, and it was the ring that failed, not the floor mount. The floor mount never buckled in the slightest. This is screwed directly into the floor. What they do is they tap the screws, and then they pump it full of a amazing glue called Sikaflex, which is literally the material that's holding your windshield on your car. So it's pretty good. You know, so these D-rings are going to outperform anything you throw in here, and you have 9 of them, so you can distribute weight extremely well through this coach. Now, a couple things. This is dovetailed because this is a true toy hauler. What that means to me is that this is dovetailed so that you have an easier angle of incline when you're loading. You're not going to rip the pipes off your fully dressed Harley. Also, it's wide body. The entire thing is wider. It's 102 wide, not 8 foot wide. What that means in English is you can actually put 2 fully dressed bikes side by side in this space. The other thing is, you see how they're still putting a good foot of diamond plate down here. If they put anything less than that in there, you might as well not put it any at all, because if it's much lower than that, your foot pegs aren't going to catch it and you'd rip a hole in your wall if you lost your balance a little bit. It can happen. That's the thing, is that they're taking those preventative measures. Let's step inside here. The Blackout Nightshades, they just kind of snap on. I have one sort of snapped on slack here so you can sort of get the idea. But they just snap on and they will black out the sun back here. Good for a couple reasons. You know, a toy hauler like this could serve so many different purposes. As this one's currently equipped with these bed setups right here, this could be an alternative bunkhouse. Now, I apologize for that overcast sky. It's not being super camera friendly, but you could easily fold this down. You could use this like a separate bunkhouse. You know, there are heat ducts back here so you can keep the kids comfortable. You see extra power outlets like this, so you could close this off and get privacy. Or, you know, if you have a nice expensive bike back here and you just don't want people nosing at it, you can block off the windows and no one's going to see inside. Now with this patio deck back here, this is also perfect for like a seasonal campsite. You don't have to use the toy hauler as a toy hauler, and people forget that. You don't have to have a motorcycle to really enjoy a toy hauler. If you go to a place or you travel to different places for 2-3 weeks or months at a time, then move, you have a built-in patio deck off this RV. You don't have to build a wood deck or anything up next to your trailer. It's not a problem. I also like the extra overhead storage here, and you will notice AC ducting back here in the garage area to keep guests warm, or cool rather, in the event that you are using this as a bunkhouse, an alternative bunkhouse. Because the bathroom is on the lower deck, not even an NBA basketball superstar is going to hit their head on this ceiling. It's very large. You also have an extra large medicine cabinet, which is kind of a carryover from the sort of like Cherokee family of Forest River toy haulers. And that's a good thing. That means that there's good storage here in this bathroom like we're seeing right now. Also, it means you get things like the bigger medicine cabinet. You'll notice too, the entire interior space here, other than directly in front of the slide or the bedroom, is all linoleum flooring. It's far easier to clean. I also like the little touches, like these switches are backlit, as you see here. So if you're like me, if you wake up at night and you stumble like a zombie, you'll actually be able to see where your light switches are. Speaking of which, let me turn some lights on in here and shed some light on the situation. Pardon me. Kind of caught me with my hair down a little bit. There you go. So let me take a step back here where we were. Makes a night and day difference. I mean, no pun intended. They use good quality all LED light fixtures in here on your primary lights. You might have a couple spotlights that are the traditional incandescents, but not too frequently. Now, this whole party couch here is super big, super comfy, and what's really sweet about it is it does come with a table. You can use this like a middle dinette, but what's neat is all 4 sections of this actually kick out and recline. So this is a 4-space individual recliner that you can use as a dinette as well. What's neat is when the dining table's here, you can still use the two end seats as recliners. You're going to see nicer wooden plantation blinds here in your living room slide outs. Unlike metal blinds, these things are not going to get bent up and twisted up, and they're not going to look terrible. They're super resilient to people. Like if you're sitting here watching a game and your favorite player, scores a point or whatever, and you go, oh, well, you're not going to damage this thing. They're fine. They're also super easy to clean by comparison. They're the easiest blinds to clean in any RV. Nice little things too next to your primary seating area. We do have a handy little charging station here. 2 USB ports and a 12-volt plug. Keep all your devices charged. I'm sure you noticed this big, I don't know what, 42 to 45 inch, some big TV here. That is obviously swinging on a swing arm. So you can make it point directly at your sofas over here. That's one of those little detail things that a lot of brands will leave out. The fireplace down here is an electric space heater. Not only does it look cool, but if you're plugged into Park Power, you don't have to burn up your propane to heat the RV. Now, I did forget one thing over here on the lights. Let me hit one more switch, and that is these super cool LED accent lights. They really, really, really just set it off in here, especially at night. Like, you can see them here during the day, but if you ever visit when it's really dark and just kick those on, it just glows in here and it's awesome. Now, again, if you are using this like a bunkhouse, it can give people enough visibility to see without blinding someone at night. The kitchen space here has 3-4 major things I want to touch on. First, the glass top stove right here maximizes your countertop space, because this being a smaller fifth wheel toy hauler, comparatively speaking, bigger than a lot of fifth wheels, but in toy haulers it's actually rather small. Countertop space is a premium, so they gave you back like 4 square feet here you would have lost. Also, the microwave is mounted down here where the stove or oven normally would be, and it's convection, so you can do some fast cooking in here if you want. Now, by putting the microwave down here, it opened up all this cabinet space. Normally, you would have to sacrifice a big chunk of this. Now you don't have to. And because these are so tall and big, they put a shelf in here for 2 extra large storage spaces. Those are taller than just about anything you're gonna need. Extra space everywhere they could. Now, obviously, this is huge, and you're gonna need a 2 or 3 stepper depending on your size, but it's there. That's the point. You're not gonna put the stuff you're gonna use every day. You're gonna get every ounce of space you can. This is a larger 8 cubic foot refrigerator instead of a 6. That makes a big difference. This has 33% more storage space to it. And you also have another easy access large scale pantry over this direction right here. Let me open that up for you as well. So you have tons and tons and tons of floor to ceiling storage going on in here. Let's move forward a little bit up into the bedroom. Bedroom is, this is the only member of the Vengeance fifth wheel family that does not have a king bed, actually. And it is just because it is a little bit smaller. They did need to drop down to the standard queen, but it's still the same, no smaller than any other fifth wheel you would come into. And again, just cool little LED lights here. Just nice little touches like that. Again, just little things like that really can set this off. If you see something like this, that indicates that this is 50 amp service. That means you can add a second air conditioner at your discretion. Always keep that in mind. And again, there's a lot of value here in a affordably priced fifth wheel toy hauler. You can use it like a toy hauler, like a bunkhouse, like a seasonal camper. You can use it as just about anything you like, anytime you like. 800-256-5196. Haylet RV, take care, stay safe, happy camping.